Hello, welcome. First of all, they have a new look. I have my contacts in, which is very exciting. My glasses, the nose guard fell off. Here, you can actually see. The nose guard fell off. Like, you see how there's like this thing here? It fell off, and I was playing soccer. And they're also very bent out of shape, so I need to go to the glasses place sometime this week, because it's really pointy and it hurts me. So I have my contacts in. I just got a haircut. Can we get thank you, Robbie, in the chat? And I've got new lights. We actually finally upgraded our lighting settings. So the camera quality is still pretty bad, but you know, I'm not complaining. But yeah, so that's, I don't know. Let me know if you guys can notice a difference, because it feels much more professional on my end. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy seeing my face in higher quality. Although maybe that's not what you wanted. Maybe you would have preferred if it was lower quality lighting. So if you want me to go back to the old lights and you want me to downgrade my webcam, just let me know in the comments down below. There's one other thing I wanted to say, but I've totally forgotten. Anyway, that's not what you're here for. That's not why you're here. We're going to talk about the experience share today, and the fact that it's looking like it's going to be removed / is going to be removed in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So this is something that I thought was pretty interesting. Not necessarily the fact that it's going to be removed, though of course that is kind of inherently interesting as well. But oh, I remember what the other thing is. Sorry. Okay, this shirt's one of my favorites because I may have talked about this before. It has a zipper. I used to keep matches in here, but like last time I washed it, I took the matches out. Obviously, I've been trying to think about things that I can keep in here, like gum, matches, like just things that like are funny to have in there. So if you have suggestions, please let me know. It's not a very big pocket. You can't fit a ton in here, but you can fit some stuff for sure. Anyway, experience share is being removed in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and people have actually been pretty upset about this on the internet, it seems. Which I think is interesting. So I just wanted to talk about it today and see what other people think and share my thoughts. I guess the experience share has kind of been a crucial, a really iconic part of the Pokemon series for pretty much the entirety of the games. Originally, the way that it worked, I'm sure everyone's aware, but just in case you don't know, originally the way that it worked is you could basically give it to a Pokemon in your party as a held item, and that Pokemon would gain experience as if it were participating in a battle, even if it wasn't participating in the battle itself. So if you had a weak Pokemon in the back, it was an easy way to train it up, etc. And it also, if the Pokemon did participate in the battle, it would get more of the share of experience if more than one Pokemon participated. So it's basically just used for training. You can use it for EV training, or you could back in the day, although it was like you wouldn't be able to hold like the power anklet or any of the power items, so it wasn't super efficient. But yeah, it was basically a way to level. And it doesn't play any role in competitive Pokemon, except for when you're getting the Pokemon themselves, but it does play a role in the main storyline of the game. So in Generation, I believe it was 6, it may have been 7, but I believe it was 6. I don't think it was 5. The experience share changed so that it applied experience to all Pokemon in your party equally. And you could turn it off. So that was the thing. So you either had the experience on and every Pokemon in your party would gain experience, or you would turn it off and it would just be your main Pokemon. So for players who wanted a bit more of a challenge, they were able to turn the experience share off, and not worry about it if they wanted to do kind of like hard mode Pokemon. So basically what happened in Sword and Shield is they announced that the item's just gone. The key item, the held item. Oh my gosh. Hello? Cool. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. The item's just gone, which is interesting, for sure. Basically, the experience system is now just, it acts as if the experience share of previous generations, of Generation 7, maybe Generation 6, don't remember, is just always on, it's always applied. And the reason I think that people are upset about this is that Pokemon as a series, I'm sure a lot of people feel, it has a ton of potential. Like, it's like one of the biggest, if not the biggest, like, franchises in the world. I don't know if I can go so far as to say it's the biggest, but it's like huge. It's huge in a lot of ways. It's very successful in terms of the TV show. When Ash won the Alola League, I know people were like, it was trending on Twitter. The card game is successful. The video game is successful. It's an extremely popular series, and I feel like sometimes it can feel. Sorry, I'm still a little sick. It can feel like a large portion of the fan base is not necessarily who Pokemon cater to. It feels very much like the brand of Pokemon is children, is young children. And as I'm sure most of you watching are aware, the majority of people who are interested in Pokemon and who play Pokemon aren't necessarily especially young. Like, of course, that is a big demographic, but a lot of people are, starting in like high school and then going up through college and then post college. Like a lot of people play, and a lot of people, and older as well. Like parents play, right? I know we actually have several Poke parents who are on this channel watching the videos. Shout out to you guys. It always makes me happy when I see people tweeting at me pictures of them, their children watching my content. So yeah, shout out to you guys. But yeah, like lots of people, all ages play. And the reason I bring this up is that oftentimes Pokemon may feel too easy. Even though I'm like the world champion of Pokemon, I actually don't play that many video games. Actually, like I play Smash casually, but other than that, I really don't play very many video games. And I played Fire Emblem for the first time. I beat Fire Emblem Three Horses, and it was a much more. I know it wasn't an especially challenging game, but it was like oh wow, this is like I actually have to think to like do well here. I actually like this is actually challenging in some regards. And Pokemon, by comparison, feels very easy. It's a very easy game to beat the main storyline, unless you apply certain challenges to yourself. To yourself. Like a Nuzlocke, for example. I know people really enjoy that because it makes the game much more challenging and it makes it feel much more like the stakes are a lot higher. And so Pokemon already feels like a pretty easy like game, and I think the reason why there's backlash is I know a lot of fans. There's not extreme backlash, to be clear. Like I don't think there's any like this isn't anything that people are like really up in arms about. But I know people are kind of there's a little bit of complaining, at least because because there's this perception that Pokemon is very easy. I know Sun and Moon I didn't have much trouble with. I think most people who played it were able to beat it relatively easily. It's not like a question of, oh, can I beat this game? It's a question of how many hours does it take me to beat this game. It's pretty straightforward. And the experience share, I think people are worried because Sword and Shield, it's a big opportunity for the series. It seems to be, and it feels like one of the biggest steps forward for the game, for the franchise, in a long time. Primarily because of the fact that we're switching consoles, which I've been playing competitively since 2011. This is my 10th VGC season. I've been playing Pokemon since I was a kid, right? And it's always been on the handheld, right? And the fact that it's on the more console-y, and the Switch kind of goes both ways, but look, whatever, feels like a big opportunity for the game. And so I think the fact that people are upset about the lack of experience share is because it feels like people want change. They want something new. Like I think there's this feeling that this is an opportunity to do something different, and I think Pokemon Game Freak realizes that as well, by the fact that like there seems to be a lot of, obviously they're being pretty tight-lipped about the game, but for example, the wild area, right? That's a big change. It's something that we didn't have before, and it does feel like there's this opportunity to kind of break the mold and like push the limits. So I think that's why people are upset. Am I upset personally, or like do I think that is? I wouldn't say that it's unreasonable to like be upset. I know there's expectations are really high for these games, and so I think people are kind of ready to jump at small things that normally wouldn't maybe be a big deal, or maybe they would always be a big deal. I don't know. But I think that we kind of just have to have faith and see, like, Pokemon's probably never going to be a game that like you need to like really be strategic and like dedicate a ton of time to in order just to beat the main series of the game. Pokemon from a competitive standpoint is extremely difficult, which is kind of a funny duality where Pokemon, the actual way it's kind of intended to be played, the more accessible way, the more popular way to play, just beating the game, is very easy, right? You put 4 attacks on your Pokemon, you just blow through. It's kind of this funny dichotomy where competitive Pokemon is extremely difficult, like one of the most difficult games I've ever played. Though again, I'm not really that much of a gamer. But yeah. So yeah, I think we kind of just have to have faith, like that. It seems like. It seems like, and I'm basing a lot of this based on the fact that basically the introduction of the wild area, and how it's like not as straightforward a linear path. It seems like in the wild area you can go off into areas you kind of like weren't supposed to go to and fight Pokemon that were like a lot stronger. And just based on that kind of fact, I'm hoping that they realize that Pokemon could use an upgrade in difficulty. So yeah. Basically, I think that's pretty much all I have to say, which is that I think it's that basically explaining why people are upset with the lack of experience share, and then giving some context to it and saying, like, we also have to be reasonable with our expectations. Like, I know that accessibility and the ability to play and kind of people of all ages to enjoy the game is something that Pokemon is aware of. It's something that they aim to do. So or that's a goal that they strive for. And so of course the exclusion of the experience share and the fact that your Pokemon just get naturally leveled up is a big thing. Although I do also believe that they said that even though now experience is just applied across your party, they've also changed the way experience is distributed. So I guess in short, what I'm saying is that it's too soon to really reach any strong conclusions here. It could be, something like, which is something that people are fearing, which is that the game is far too easy, and like the experience share just makes it like even easier than previous games. But I think it's also possible that they're taking into account how the removal of the ability to turn the experience share off might weaken its potential a little bit, and maybe it will become more difficult. So, in short, jury's still out on this one, but I hope you understand the issue a little bit more. It's not a huge issue, but yeah, I do think it's interesting, and it was interesting thinking about this video just to come up with my own personal opinion. Like, is this a bad thing? Is this a good thing? Again, I think it's too soon to tell, but yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching and all the support. Let me know again questions I asked at the beginning of the video. Talk about the new look for my my visuals. And yeah, any other topics as well. Like, we still have 1, 2. This video goes up tomorrow. Still over like, let's see, 1, 2. Still like close to 20 days, a little less than 20 days of content on the channel, because I'm going to be doing daily content until Sword and Shield drop. So any other topics that you want to see, some that are on my mind are I'm thinking about talking about like combinations and specifically weather in Sword and Shield, like, because there's been a lot of weather talk in the decks. Like, there's a lot of weather related mons, so that's something that I have in mind. I also was thinking about making a video about like features I want to see that could make competitive Pokemon more accessible and easier to get into. But those are just some ideas. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching again. You rock, and I'll see you next time. Peace.